What is going on, miners, and welcome back to the Hobbyist Miner channel. So crazy, we just went ahead and finished our 5,000 subscriber live stream. If you guys got a chance to come out and hang out with me for an hour, it was a blast. It was my first live stream on the Hobbyist Miner YouTube channel. Boatloads of you guys came out, great questions, great conversation. If you guys want something to check out, I'll put a link in the upper right hand corner to it. It was last night. It's an hour long. And feel free to skip around, check it out, but it was a good time. So in today's video, it's going to be short and sweet, 5-minute video. I swear, I promise. So all these cards that we see up here, all these RX cards, we have all different types of memory. Samsung, Elpida, Hynix, all of these are considered Polaris cards. So I'd like to go ahead and take a crack at using the Polaris Bios Editor. And I'm going to go through how to use it, and we'll talk about our success or our failures together, but we're going to do all of that in just a few minutes. So let's go ahead and jump over to HIVEOS and also over to the PC and kind of figure out what we're doing. Alrighty guys, so we are over on HIVEOS right now. We are on our Colossus rig. If you guys remember, we named all of our rigs based off of X-Men. Really fun idea that I came across. So Colossus is our 12 GPU rig. It's now actually 13 GPUs. We have 470s, we have 570s. You know, we kind of got the works in here. 470, 570, and finally a 580. So what I want to do is to get a good baseline here. I'm going to go ahead and use this RX 470 right here in GPU slot 1. So what I want to do is I just want to take a screenshot of this card for its hash rate. Okay, we're going to move that aside. Next, what I want to do is I want to clear the entire overclock for this card. And I just want to see what this card gets stock, because I think stock is a good way to measure it. So I just went ahead and cleared everything. Only thing that didn't get cleared was the 85 watts. So we're going to give it a minute here. I'm going to refresh it in just a second, and we'll see what we're at. In the meantime, we're going to go over to GitHub, and I'll put a link to this directly down below, and we're going to go ahead and download the Polaris Bios Editor. Okay, so that is downloaded. Let's go ahead and refresh over here on HIVEOS. Okay, we'll give it another minute here. 12.3 might be our benchmark number, but let's wait and see. Okay, we're going to extract this. Okay, cool. So here we have our Polaris Bio Editor right here. So I'm going to refresh one more time. Okay, 11.07. We'll stop back in just a second. So what we're going to do while we wait for this is we're going to go into our overclock settings here. Is what we're going to do, and we're going to download the BIOS off of that card. So we want to get the current BIOS that's on that card, and we want to back it up just in case something happens. So we're going to go ahead. We selected GPU 1. We're going to download that. We're going to give it a second. You see right up here, it says AMD download now. Don't forget this step, guys. Please don't forget this step. It's super important. You do not want to forget to back up the BIOS at all. You don't want to forget it at all. So this is going ahead and downloading now. And let's go back to... Okay, so we're now to 10.3. Okay, so I'm going to make a note here. And that could vary. It is Ravencoin, so it does go all over the place. So I made a note here. Stock hash rate. Okay. So we're going to use stock as the way to go here. 10.32. What were we at? 10.38. So 10.32 is the lowest I think we've seen it so far. Okay, so right up here, you guys can see that finished. And now we can download that ROM, which is the BIOS for GPU 1. Okay, so it downloaded. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead. Let me clear out. Here we go. Skip. Okay, so we're going to clear out as much as we can that folder. So I'm going to make a copy of that. And I'm even going to make a new folder, original GPU 1 BIOS. Okay. So now we don't mess with this at all. We keep it nice, lock and key and safe. Okay. This guy is the one that we're going to go ahead and edit and play with. So let's refresh one more time. 10.9. Okay. So our lowest is 10.29 so far. Next, what we're going to do, if my keys will work, is now we're going to go ahead and we are going to stop mining on this rig. So we are using Team Red Miner. So I'm going to stop Team Red Miner from mining at this current time. 10.29. Got it. Okay. So now we're over on Polaris here. And oh, did I just delete? I just deleted it. What an idiot. Okay, let's try this again. All good, guys. All good. Okay, so we're extracting Polaris. Here it is. I'm going to open Polaris BIOS Editor. It's going to give me some concerns. I'm going to run it anyway. Okay. Click yes to copy the clipboard. We don't need to copy that here. And here is our BIOS editor. So what we're going to do is we're going to open BIOS and we're going to open the BIOS. See, we're not going to go to our backup, our original GPU. We're going to go right to this Colossus one. This is GPU 1, and we're going to open it. Okay. So in here, it has some information for us to take a look at. Firmware signature is Atom. The max GPU frequency is 2000. Max memory frequency is 2100. Wow. So some good information there to keep in mind. So let's just take some notes here. Max GPU frequency is 2000. Max memory frequency is 2100. Okay. So what we're going to do next is we're going to do the one-click timing patch. So this is kind of like the Polaris BIOS Editor for dummies. And we're going to click it. And do you want faster Uber Mix 1 or 3.1? If no, you can choose from 3.2 or 3.3. We're going to go ahead and hit yes. And Samsung memory found in index of 0. Now applying it to your timings. Okay, great. Buy the Pro version. Okay, no, we're good to go. Okay, so our timings have changed a little bit over here. As you can see, our current settings. So we're from 250 up to 2000, which we're done and good to go. So now we're going to save this BIOS, and we're going to save this as, I'm just going to call this GPU 1 Polaris BIOS edited. And we're going to do save it. Okay, so that's done. So now we're going to go ahead and close out of this. We're going to go back to HIVEOS. Just going to refresh. We shouldn't be mining right now. Yep, see, no mining. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to overclocking. We're going to go to Flash VBIOS, and it's going to go okay. So is it AMD or NVIDIA? We're going to select AMD. Now it says the VBIOS ROM. We're going to find our GPU 1 Polaris BIOS edited ROM. Open. Now we're going to come down to GPU index, and it wants to know what GPU we're applying this to. We're going to do GPU 1, and we will go ahead and check the box. It says force flashing, ignore security checking, and now we're going to go ahead and do upload. So you can see up top here, it's uploading this directly to it. So let's give it a minute. And then once this is finished, we'll pop back on. Okay. ROM flashing. Okay. Now reboot. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and reboot this rig. So we're going to reboot it, and we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, guys. So we are back in action right now. Taking a look at GPU 1, it's a big improvement. Looking at our notes, we were at 10.32 for our stock hash rate. And now our stock hash rate on GPU 1 is 12.03. So we've gained about 2 mega hash right now without overclocking this at all or putting any of our original settings in place. So that is a win-win in my book. I'm super happy with the results. I'm probably going to go through and do this on each of my cards, especially my 570, my 580. I'll put a link directly down below to the Polaris BIOS Editor. This was recommended to me by a community member. Now, I've heard, be cautious as to the one you go and download off of Google. So use the link down below directly from GitHub, guys. Also, make sure that you are using this on Polaris cards only. To determine that, when you're in HIVEOS, if you go into your configuration, you can actually go down here to add config. And then if you hit the little I button, you can see Polaris cards are considered Samsung, LPDA memory, or Micron or Hynix memory. So those are the only cards that will work with this. Be careful, be cautious. You can mess things up, so just be careful. Make sure you make a backup. I'm going to make those backups and keep all of those backups just to be safe if I ever need them. Well, guys, thank you guys very much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.